Hello boys and girls, it's Sable Rock Modding here, and today I'm going to discuss the full planes textures with you, how to convert FS22 to FS25, the new format for full plane textures. Now here I'm in Farming Simulator 25 data full planes, a dollar data file, and we're going to have a look at Bali as an example. So if I open the Bali diffuse, the first thing you must notice is that the new textures are of size 1024 by 1024, and that is the same for the normal map, 1024 by 1024, as you can see here. And in the new in FS25 they have this new texture format for the normal maps. It's quite a mystery, but it's about to be solved how you can make this. Alright, and then there is something new in FS25, the height map, which we will get to shortly, and its size is 512 by 512. Now in FS22 we didn't need a height map, we had a specular map, if you remember correctly. That has fallen away. If we look at the new format for FS25, you need to have a diffuse as per 22, you need a normal map here in the full types file, and now as a new thing we need a height map. Okay, I will not go into the displacement and the distance map too much. That's not the point of this discussion. Okay, now how are we going to make these maps? Alright, let's go to this map as a donor map, Huron County multi-fruit in FS22, and I'm going to convert a big millet because it's a good example for this exercise. Now the first thing you'll notice when we open the millet from FS22, it's the wrong size. Now you cannot, I'm here in paint.net by the way, you cannot resize this to 1024 by 1024, whoops, 1024 for FS22. If you do this, you're going to get stretching in game of this particular full plane. It just won't look right. Okay, let's just undo this. And the other thing you need to check is the tiling of this before you convert it. Now let me show you what I mean. If I create a texture 1024 by 1024, which is the required texture in FS25, and I simply copy the FS22 texture in there, Control V, and I'm going to Control V again to get another one, plonk it here next to it. I'm going to zoom in, okay, up arrow to move the image, and left arrow, and there. Now here you can see there's definitely a line separating the two images, an indication that the original modder who made this never tiled it properly. If I can do another one, Control V, drag it down here, zoom in with Control Scroll, up arrow and left arrow to line it up perfectly, you can see that it is not a properly tiled texture. Okay, so that's the first thing you have to do when you convert textures from FS22, see that they are properly tiled. Okay, now that's a video for another time, not today. So I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of this one. Now I've already made a tileable texture for millet. I'm not going to show you the process now, and I'm not going to tile it over 4 tiles to show you that it's tileable, but I can tell you actually we have to do that now because I only see now that it's 512 by 512. So here we go, 1024 by 1024. Okay, take our texture, sorry about this, copy it, paste it in here, paste it again, drag it over. I'm going to zoom in so I can line it up perfectly, up arrow, left arrow. Alright, and as you can see there's no discernible line here, it's pretty tileable. Okay, Control V, let's just zoom in a bit. I always do this so I can definitely sure that it lines up there. Control V, another one. Drag this one over here. Okay, up arrow, left arrow, and there you go. There is your 1024 by 1024 texture, diffuse texture for FS25. Okay, so we're going to file, save this as, and I'm going to call it Millet Diffuse Tiles 1024. Save it. Yes, replace it and make sure that you're saving as 32-bit if you're working in Paint.net. That's to get the alpha channel included. Okay, now there it is. We can get rid of this one. Right, so how do we create the other maps? Well, I've got Materials, which is a free tool, and it's pretty good. Okay, let's just clear all of these and click on Open here and make sure that we're in FS25 format. I just want to go back to that folder and make sure that's where we saved it. No, I've saved it here in fillplanes Millet. Okay, so let's go back in here and fillplanes Millet. This is it, tiled. Alright, select. Okay, how do we make, let me just get this a little bit more square, that right click, zoom out a bit. Okay, there. Okay, let's create a height map. Simply click on create. Now with a height map, guys, be very careful with your settings here. I would leave this as is, pretty standard. Do not fiddle around with these, but do adjust your final contrast, and I usually stick between 1.5 and 2. I do not go over 2 very much. You're going to get height map problems if you do that. So let's stick to 1.5 and set it as the height map. Now let's have a look at the material. If I zoom in here, it looks pretty okay to me. I'm using my right click button to swing it around a bit so that I check for too much height. Okay, you don't want these things to be sticking out of the plane too much. It must look realistic. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that height. Okay, let's create the normal map. Click on create, and again, if you say click on default here, that's the original settings. I usually like to move this a little bit down, these first three, and I move this a little bit up, like so. Okay, and that's your normal map. And then do not fiddle with the angularity. You can see what it does. I usually set mine to 0. Angularity. Alright, the rest I leave as is, and I'm pretty happy with this as a normal map. So set the normal map. Let's go into show full preview material. Again, right click, swing around, hold your right click in. Do not worry about the shininess for now, we'll fix that later. Okay, I think I'm pretty good with this. This should hopefully look very good in the game. Now before we save them, make sure that you've got PNG clicked here. By default, it'll export as a BMP map. We don't want that. Alright, S for save here. And I'm going to go into FS25 format. I'm going to save that one, the height map, as FS25 height map PNG. Select. Okay. I'm going to save the normal again in my folder FS25 format. I'm going to save it as, where is my FS25 normal? It's not here, but I will change it here. No, I'm going to stick to normal for this one. Save. Alright, and let me go back to height map, because it's not yet FS25 format. I'm going to save it as normal millet height PNG. Alright, select. Okay, now we're going to minimize this. I don't think we will come back to it. Now in FS25 format, I'm just going to delete these files. It's files I experimented with it earlier. Now here are the two files that we saved from Materialize. Okay, 1024 by 1024. That will change later, but we will get to that. Right, let's get back to that folder. I just want to make sure about the normal. There it is. It's 1024 by 1024. And make sure that it's when you resave it, make sure that it's not 32-bit. We only need 24-bit 3 channels. We don't need an alpha for the normal. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Right, and now for the good stuff. Okay guys, I'm back after a nice coffee break. Now let's do the other texture maps. Now I've got GIMP 2.10-38 open here, and I've already brought our 3 maps in that we've created in the earlier process. The height map, normal map, and the diffuse map. Now let's start with the normal map. The first step is you need to decompose it into its separate channels, and that happens here. Components, decompose, and make sure that you select RGB. We don't need RGBA, we don't need the alpha channel. Okay, so okay that, and there you have your 3 channels, your RGB channels. Now the first texture file we're going to put into the blue channel here. We'll start with our height map, select it, Control C to copy it, go back to our new height map, Control V to paste it, and then Control H to apply it to the blue channel. The next one we're going to copy into the blue channel is the diffuse file. Control C to copy it, select our new normal map, Control V to paste it in there, and Control H to apply it in the blue channel. Right, we're nearly there. Then we need to go into colors, curves, and bring this curve all the way down. That is to prevent that shininess of the texture in the game. And okay that. Right, we're nearly done with the normal map. Last step for the normal map, colors, components, compose. Make sure it's an RGB, we don't need the alpha channel, and okay that. That should give you this yellowish green texture, which is the new FS25 format. If you don't get this, you've made a mistake somewhere in the process. Okay, let's export this one as in PNG. Hopefully this can go quick. Export as, I've lost my directories here. Okay, guys, stick with me. Mods, US map, maps, map US, and full planes, and millet, FS25 format. And this one we're going to use it's normal we're busy with, so it's a normal FS25, which I use to indicate it's the new format. Export, replace yes, and make sure guys when you export it that we only use 8 BPC RGB. We don't need an alpha channel on the normal map. Export. Good, that we've done with the new normal. We can delete that, we can get rid of this, discard the changes. Okay, let's now do the diffuse map. Make sure you've got it selected, and we do the same process. Colors, components, decompose, and this time we do need an alpha channel. Make sure it's RGBA and okay that. Then you should get your 4 channels here on the channel panel. Okay, the first map we're going to copy in here would be the normal map. Control C, back, select the new diffuse file, Control V, and Control H to apply it to the alpha channel. The next map we're going to put in there is the height map. Control C, select our new diffuse file. Oops, sorry, what do I click now? Select the new diffuse file here, make sure it's selected. Control V, Control H to apply it to the alpha channel. That's nearly done for the diffuse file. Now we can compose it again. Colors, components, compose. Okay, make sure it's an RGBA, include an alpha channel. Okay, and that should give you this nice checkered pattern or transparency pattern, which is the new format for FS25. There it is. Okay, let's export it quickly. File, export as. And again here, I have to go through this business here to get my directory back. Maps, map US, fill planes, millet, 25 format. And this one is our new diffuse file. We're going to select that file and simply overwrite it. Export, replace yes. Make sure that you have an alpha channel selected. So in this case, it's 8BPC RGBA export. That's done. Okay, we've finished with the diffuse file. We can get rid of all these extra files, delete that. We're finished with the normal. The only file that remains is the height map, and the only thing we need to do here is to size it to FS25 requirements, which is 512, enter, scale it, and that's it. Now export it, export as, and we have the right folder here. That's very nice. Okay, and we're going to overwrite this one, millet height FS25, the PNG version. Export, replace, and this time, guys, we only need 2 channels and a gray channel. All right, 8BPC gray. Export, and that's it. We should be done with GIMP. All right, we'll see you soon. Hello guys, another nice little coffee break, nice filter coffee. Here I am in that folder where we've exported those files to, those 3 files that we've created in GIMP. So the last step that you need to do with them is to copy them, copy, and punch them through the texture tool, paste, and paste. And hopefully you'll get no warnings here, no errors, if you've done everything correctly. But this is a very vital step for Farming Simulator to R25 to convert these to the necessary DDS formats. If the DDS formats are correct, you will have no warnings or errors in game. Okay, that is done. Now let's have a look at the XML. So in the XML, I have already brought those 3 files in to save time. Here they are, and hopefully we won't have problems with these paths here. Okay, interestingly guys, this unit size, okay, you can change this parameter to make that millet, that little seed, make it look bigger or smaller when you have it in a trailer or your truck, or you dump it to the ground. If you have parameter 1, that means it is 1-to-1 ratio between what you're going to see in game and what you see in the texture file in paint.net or wherever. So I'm going to make mine 1.5 to make those little seeds look a little bit bigger. Okay, we'll save that. Well, it was saved. In any case, I'm going to start the game now. Well, it's already started, so to save time, let's pop in there quickly. Well, here they are. Millet. Let's get closer, and what does it look like? The first thing I look for is unnecessary shininess as we pan up and down here. If they're not properly constituted, you're going to get this weird, shiny, blended milkiness. And guys, I'm pretty happy with the way this texture came out. I don't see a lot of repeat patterns here, and the height looks pretty good to me. That is just excellent. I'm very happy with this millet guy. Just to compare, This is the in-game sorghum. This is what Giants created. Not bad. But you can see a repeat texture here. Those lines that you see running along the spine there. Okay. And then back to our millet. Not much of a repeat texture. Yeah. I think this is excellent, guys. If this was my game, it was my fruit that I've put in, I'll be pretty happy with this. Guys, as usual, if I've made one person happy, then it's good enough for me. Bye for now.